Alright, this is a tutorial on how to make a Mario-like stencil game. If you want to get the kit I'm using, it's in one of my other videos. So, games. So this is what happens when you open Stencyl for the first time. To create a new game, you click here. It'll ask you what type of kit you want. I'm going to use the Crash Course kit. And then let's call this Mario game. And then you can choose the resolution. I'm just going to stick with the standard. First thing it'll show you is basically a blank screen. First thing you want to do is you want to be able to recognize the resources that you have. First thing you want to go to is actors. Here are all the actors pre-configured to your kit. First one we'll configure is Mambo. Once we open Mambo, you should notice that you can switch between your actor and your dashboard. Dashboard is basically where you create new things. Mambo is basically the sprite, the actor itself. When you open actor, this one's name is Mambo. You can rename him back here in the dashboard using right click and then rename. In Mambo, the first thing will show up is appearance. You can add animations to him, you can add frames to his walking and all this. We won't change any of this right now. First thing we want to do is we want to go to behaviors. Here are all the behaviors that basically what the actor is going to do when you do certain things to it. The first behavior we want to add is, let's make it be able to walk. Double click walking and it will show this. This is the walking behavior. Here you can change the attributes of the walking. Let's just change it to standard. If we press the right arrow key, it will move to the right. If we go to the left, it will move to the left. And then basically the animations. Let's make him idle to the right. Idle to the left be this animation. Walk to the right will be here. Walk to the left will be here. Then what we want to do is we want to add another one because we want him to also be able to jump. So this is the jumping behavior. These are the attributes. The jump key is jump, but in reality what it means jump is space. We can add a sound, but though it's not really necessary. If we want him to jump to the right, have an animation, and jump to the left. Notice these animation things are not necessary. They just make the game look real so that it doesn't randomly look ugly. Next thing you want to do is you want to go to your properties and make sure that you are a player because you're going to be controlling this Mambo. You want to make sure you're a player because if you're not a player, none of this will work. Going back to behaviors, we want to also add that if he falls off the screen, he will reload, because then if we fall off, nothing would happen. Here there are no attributes, so we don't have to change anything. We can also add the ability to stomp on other enemies. Like in Mario, you can stomp on Goombas, or is that Yoshi? Same thing. Basically, you want to be able to stomp not on players, you want to stomp on enemies, and whenever we press the jump key, it will do it. So now we have our Mambo is configured. This little star right here means that he's not saved. So if we do Control S, it'll save it. Also, if we can also save it from File. The next thing we want to do is we're going to go back to the dashboard and get our second. These are going to be our enemies. We'll open up Pronger and it'll go to appearances. What we want to go to is behavior. Create a behavior. We want to make him stomp a bull. Make him so that he can get stomped. We can choose an animation. It could be this animation, let's say. Make a sound. This is not necessary, but we can do it. And then all the other things are basically just how you want the game to look like. You want to go to properties now, and you want to change him from being a player to being an enemy. And then you're basically done with Pronger, so you can press Control Save, and you're done. Going back to the dashboard, we want to have a scene. We want to have a place for the characters, the actors, to live in. So we create a new scene, and then we can name it. Name it something, and then we want it to be on tiles because tiles is the simplest way of doing it. We can have a background color. I'm going to choose vertical gradient and light blue for the sky, and we can create. Now this is going to open something very similar to a paint program or something like that. On the side we can color things and all that stuff. Right now we're on the pencil. That means we can do stuff. First thing you want to notice is that on the right, there's your palette, quote unquote, which basically holds your tiles and your actors. Your tiles, you can click on anywhere on the screen and it will create a tile there. Then you can just like keep dragging, and there you go. Dragging also allows you can drag it any way you want. And if you want to delete something, you go to the select tool and you can drag like this and then just press delete and they're gone. What else? The next thing you want to do is you want to go to your actors and go to Mambo. He's following the mouse right now, but if we press shift, he will stick to a grid-like pattern, and then we can place him so he's exactly in a grid. The next thing we want to do is add some prongers. I'm also going to press shift here, and there we go. There are prongers. Right now, we can start our game. However, the world itself doesn't have any gravity because we didn't tell it that it should have any gravity. So if we go to physics right now, it should say physics, horizontal gravity. You can make your characters fly to the right or the left. You can have a vertical gravity. Here, down here, it has a little note, 85 down was real world gravity. So let's do that. And then if we go back to scene, nothing's changed, but right now the world has gravity. If we start the game right now, it should save the game. It will also compile the game, and it might take a while the first time around, but yes. Okay, so here is the first game that we have. If I press the right arrow key, my little Mambo should move around. If I press space, he should jump and make a little sound. Then what you can do is, right now, if we walk into them, they will move. Unlike Mario, where you die when you hit them, we didn't program that in yet. However, what you can allows you to do is if you press jump, you can jump on them, and it will make a sound, and then you jump down. That's the end of this tutorial. Goodbye.